fire, fire for fire, fire.
Let's do it. Twitch finally addressing a big problem. Uh-oh.
Viewbotting on Twitch has been a big problem for many years now.
True.
And nothing has been done about it, despite countless conversations from users about it. And this isn't some, like, wackadoo conspiracy that you can just write off as just, like, fake paranoia over nothing. This isn't, like, 5G and airport body scanners blasting you with gay beams that turn you into a mutant that craves penis or something. This is a very real thing. And it's not even like it's hidden or anything. It's not exactly a secret. It's about as much of a secret as ketchup's main ingredient being tomatoes and sugar. It is blatant. And for the longest time, it felt like they did nothing to stop it. So tons of streamers over the years have just shamelessly used viewbots to inflate their numbers to float to the top of the categories.
Because they don't get punished. If they got punished and pulled over like everybody else does when they do bad things on the street, like driving, they wouldn't do it. But Twitch doesn't enforce it. You don't even enforce it. You don't suspend them. I'm not asking to have people permanently banned. It's like a slap on the wrist kind of deal. Or even just removing the bots in general.
And grow, which is, of course, very unfair to the people that don't do that, but there's never been any, like, real punishment that I can see for it.
No.
Even in the most extreme and obvious cases where someone bots up to, like, 10k viewers on Mr. Hoggleberry's, farmyard, barnyard adventure or something, and it's like a streamer with 400 followers. Even in cases like that, I've seen they get maybe like a temporary suspension, then they're back like the next day and still do it again.
The problem becomes is that you can harass creators that are innocent, and that happens. But I don't think you should be enforcing permanent bans unless they do it repeatedly. Again, I've been viewbotted. I have been, and that was like back when I had like 100 viewers, and they viewbotted me to 200 viewers, and they harassed me. And they would come into my chat and spam and shit. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, of course I didn't want to get banned at the time, but I'd want to have preventative measures to prevent the viewbotting. Why don't they have that instead? Why don't they just remove the viewbots out of my stream and be like, okay, Alana, these people are viewbotting you. We'll just remove the bots so that you have your actual number.
But make it like, instead of 10k viewers, it's like 400 viewers just to stay at the top. And of course, it's a tool not just utilized by streamers trying to get noticed in a very saturated market. It's also been a tool used by some of the biggest streamers on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, of course, he's on Twitch. It's real. There's no viewbots or fake bots on Twitch, dude.
You should start viewbotting, Matt.
Dude, actually, I've been thinking about suggesting viewbotting to a lot of people because they don't do anything about it. There's countless streamers on this platform. Some of the top 10 streamers on this platform just do it. Fuck it.
Now, of course, Shroud's just taking the piss here, but he's expressing frustration at how common it is and how there is seemingly no consequences for it. So why wouldn't everyone just viewbot?
Because that would mean that they have to do their freaking job. Like, again, these people ban VTubers for showing hips for 2 weeks, but then if you say something racist and terrible and give people death threats, you get a slap on the wrist. There's no people working at Twitch. It's just bots. Maybe
even
that's
though
why they don't have
a
any
lot of
bans
them
for
are. Ask any like big streamer, except for the ones blatantly viewbotting, I suppose, about how rampant this issue is, and all of them will tell you the same thing. That a ton of people at like the upper echelon of Twitch viewership are viewbotting as well. It again is not just reserved for like smaller streamers trying to break out by artificially inflating their numbers. It is just super common and everybody knows it.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone also knows that there hasn't really been any effort from Twitch to stop it. It really feels like there is nobody at Twitch headquarters that gives a fuck about this subject at all. It seems like...
But Dan says it's not true. Yeah. Yeah, he said that only small streamers viewbot and that big streamers don't ever do that.
At best, Twitch has like one dude, the intern Eric, who goes through manually and sometimes bans a handful of bots for like maybe an hour and then calls it a day for the bot detection and stoppage program. It's just been out of control. But in an unpredictable surprise yesterday, Twitch actually made an announcement that they're going to be doing more to crack down on viewbots and combat it. I'm a little doubtful on that, to be honest with you, but I guess we'll see. We're going to go over the statement here in a moment. They've had a huge problem wrestling with viewbots forever, but you know who hasn't had a problem wrestling? Me. With bad hygiene. I went in there and gave that shit a knuckle sandwich with our soap, Cheeky. Cheeky's the best soap in the universe, and I just wanted to put something on your radar. Right now we're doing a special promotional with one of our partners, Giga. She just debuted her new 3.0, and we wanted to celebrate by giving 20% off to anyone that uses her code at usecheeky.com, and we're also donating $1 for every bar of soap sold using her code to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Just a little something we wanted to do after everything that happened with Fee Shoujo and Iron Mouse, so I just wanted to put that on your radar real quick. Anyway, this is Twitch's statement. They said, a quick update on view counts. We have teams and tech dedicated to ensuring that the views that show up on channels reflect actual viewership and aren't artificially inflated in any way. Ultimately, metrics on Twitch should represent the real and growing communities that show up and participate on channels, so we regularly update detection tools and methods. So I'm a little...
No, you don't, because you would actually remove the bots out of the stream so that the streamer has the real uninflated number.
They are terrible at doing the job that they are designed to do with stopping view bots. I would have actually preferred if they just came out and said, hey, we haven't taken viewbotting seriously on this platform until now. Now we're... By
the way, Twitch has been around since like 2013. How have you not sorted out a massive issue with your viewbotting in 10 plus years? Like, YouTube doesn't have this problem, and I'd argue that the viewbotting videos is probably a lot easier, no? Yeah.
To get serious
Kinda
about
weird.
it. Because right now this just reads as, we try but we're just bad at it. Like, we have teams and tech dedicated to it, they just can't do it very well. So it doesn't inspire a ton of confidence with how little effect they've had on viewbots, despite apparently regularly updating their tools for it. Recently, we made changes that meaningfully improve our ability to identify viewbots, inauthentic viewership, and other potentially fake engagement. These changes will roll out over the next few weeks. So, if your channel was viewbotted, or if some of your viewers are artificial or inflated, you'll see an impact on your channel's view count. This also means that third-party sites that publish unverified Twitch view counts are going to see changes to that data over time.
This also means that third-party sites that publish unverified Twitch view accounts are going to see that changes to the data over time. Are they saying that Twitch tracker is gonna get changed? What? Is that what they're implying? That Twitch tracker is gonna start seeing a change?
We recognize...
They're saying that it's gonna likely go down in views? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm sure people love to viewbot their favorite streamer.
That viewbotting can be out of the streamer's control, and making these changes, our goal is to improve the experience for both streamers and viewers. Now, there is something I'd like to mention with this approach to announcing this. I am a little curious why they would announce this before actually doing something. Why not take action first, and then explain later?
Yeah, that's also a really dumb move on their part. Like, when you find an exploit on, say, I don't know, World of Warcraft, they ban you first, and then they explain why they banned you later on. Like...
Because right now, you're giving viewbotters and the third parties that make the viewbots ample time to try and find ways around potential detection tools, or the streamers coming up with, like, excuses like, no, it must be someone else viewbotting me. Like, it's just giving people a lot of time to try and skirt this. I don't know why they wouldn't just implement these tools.
Yeah, like, stop the viewbotting, you guys. I don't want to get permanently banned. We gotta stop it right now. Unless they do it retroactively somehow. I don't know.
First, let them take action, and if they work really well and people do see drastic changes to their viewer numbers because of eliminating so much of the artificial bloat on it, then you could come forward and explain why. I feel like that would have been far more effective. Like, I don't really love the approach to, like, making this announcement, like, here we come, we're taking down the viewbots, before actually having done that.
It's like busting people for, you know, in a safe house, if you're a policeman, and then telling them that you're coming. Like, why?
Now, admittedly,
would
this
you
is
do
still
that?
like the most we've got from Twitch in what feels like forever about viewbots and how they're going to do something about it. So it all sounds well and good that they're finally making what seems to be more of a priority out of this issue and trying to stop it. Like, they also recognize that sometimes it's not always the streamers that viewbot themselves. It could be a
True.
viewer doing it to try and get the streamer in trouble. But that never really works because Twitch doesn't give a fuck about viewbots, or at least historically it hasn't. So that never really amounts to anything other than just, once again, the stream being inflated with artificial numbers.
There's also a thing with the Twitch partner application. If they think that you are artificially inflating your numbers in order to meet the criteria for hitting Twitch partners so that you can be monetized, like, why, man? What is going on? Why would you? I don't know. This just makes no sense. It seems really backwards to me.
But, like, at least the statement is them
you.
addressing the issue and saying that they are working and cooking up new ways of trying to stop it. And I hope that they're very effective. I just have my doubts about it, is all. Because as they mentioned, apparently they've already had all these tools and stuff, but they don't work super well. Unless they've had like a drastic overhaul and have really prioritized stopping this, I'm very curious to see the impact it has on viewbots. And I'm not saying it's like an easy problem to solve or anything. Obviously, it hasn't been mastered and perfected by any other platform either. There are viewbots out the wazoo across the internet in general. So, like, I understand that it's not just Twitch, but I think Twitch has kind of ignored it for a long time without taking it super seriously, despite it being a pretty big issue. I would love if they were correct here that there is going to be like some sweeping changes to view counts where now it's no longer inflated and it's harder for creators or viewers to try and artificially boost a stream with bots. I hope they do actually have some good like tech in place to stop that. I don't put a whole lot of faith in it.
No, because they don't even have a good moderation team that sits there and unbans people. I'm terrified they'll see my family watching stream as viewbots. Buddy, your 4 family members watching someone's stream is not a viewbot. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people. That's not an anomaly, don't worry. You're not gonna get your favorite streamer banned for viewbotting because you want them to watch your favorite streamer. Don't worry, man. It's okay.
Twitch has become notorious for putting out statements like this with like these big changes that are coming that don't really amount to anything. Like, they don't actually really do much to change things that they talk about, at least historically. Now, that's not speaking in an absolute there. There have been times where they put out a statement like this and there has been big changes, obviously. But for this one in particular, I really get the feeling this will be another one of those things where they make a hoopla about like what's coming and what they're about to do to improve something. Mm-hmm. And then, a few weeks down the line, it doesn't really change much. I hope I'm wrong. I hope when this fully rolls out over the next few weeks, we do notice a huge hit to viewbots on the platform. That would be great. I'm just a bit doubtful of it. And I think a lot of streamers that do viewbots are probably going to take this as like a warning to stop making it so obvious, because even their most brainwashed of followers will see like, oh, this streamer was once at like 2,000 average viewers, now they're down to 200. That's weird. What happened here?
A really good assessment that you can do, rule of thumb, is seeing how many followers someone has on Twitch and how many viewers they have. It's a proportional, like, effect. It's really not that hard. You don't even need AI. Like, you just use this rule of thumb to say, like, hey, if they have 100k followers, if they have anything above, I don't know, like 3,000 viewers, consider that weird and put a pin in it. And anyone else that follows that trend can also be put a pin in it. And then you look into it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I could work at Twitch and solve these problems in an instant. But these people just don't want to do their job.
And then they'll hopefully connect the dots in their head like, oh, they must have been viewbotting this whole time. Which, of course, is a really bad look for the streamer. So I'm assuming even just putting out this notice here is maybe going to help with some of those streamers that do actively viewbot. They might kind of put
that honestly kind of depends on the game and the content, to be fair. Yeah, that's a kind of an anomaly, because I've also seen people who have a lot of viewers, like 10,000 viewers, and the chat isn't super fast. Yeah, it's not necessarily a one-to-one. It depends on the situation, but yeah.
Put the brakes on it themselves a little bit to try and avoid, you know, suspicion or something, perhaps. Either way, though, I'm glad they're at least trying, or at least seeming like they're going to try. It's about time. This is long overdue. Now, Dan Clancy also made a statement about this, going into a bit more detail. He said, as highlighted in this recent Twitch support tweet, we just updated some of the code that we use to detect and eliminate viewbots. I wanted to quickly follow up on a few key points regarding the recent update to our viewbot detection. First, I want to be very clear that we always try to detect and eliminate viewbots. However, doing this in a manner that does not eliminate real viewers can be tricky. While I know for some of you it has been frustrating, we wanted to take our time to make sure we were not inadvertently filtering out real users. Second, I wanted to highlight that bots come in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes streamers may be actively working with third parties to inflate their numbers. In other cases, the bots may be used to harass streamers. We don't want either type, because average concurrent viewers is intended to be a measure of the people that are watching the streamer at any given point in time.
I'm down.
As is always the case, detecting viewbots is a bit of a cat and mouse game as third parties work to avoid our detection. We will continue monitoring and make updates over time to improve our viewbot detection system. Now, as I mentioned, I recognize that it is not a simple problem to solve. The solution isn't very easy. But it really has felt over the years that this wasn't something Twitch ever really had a big concern with. Until now.
Because it's not a good look. I think what probably very likely happened is that advertisers started saying, hey, we're paying X amount of money for someone with 10,000 viewers, but we're not getting a return on it because they probably only have 1,000 or 2,000 people watching them actively. And the other 8,000 or whatever are viewbots. That's probably why this is happening.
I suppose. It's nice to hear that they have been trying to do things on the back end for a while to detect and eliminate viewbots. It sucks that it hasn't been that great. There hasn't been a whole lot of, you know, juice from the squeeze there, because viewbots are still a rampant issue on the platform. But hopefully whatever changes they're rolling out here are robust and effective. Like, all I can do is hope. I'm just a bit doubtful given the history of Twitch. Anyway, though, I'll stop yapping about it. I guess we'll see if the viewer numbers across the platform take a huge hit here when this all rolls out. I will tell you, if they work well, if these tools are actually really strong, there should be a pretty significant decline in viewership from tons and tons of channels across the platform.
But that makes it all the more fair for anyone else. I'm honestly very... okay, I'm skeptical, but I'm excited because there's a lot of people that I think are genuinely funny, and they have, like, maybe a couple hundred viewers. And I would love to have that balance out with countering out all the people that are viewbotting.
So, we'll see. We will see. That's really about it. So, yeah.
It'll disperse all the viewers, or at least, like, balance it out and average it out. You think they'll pick and choose high viewer channels and whitelist them from the coding and the dude, I can't speak. Viewbot bans. I mean, we already saw it with the interview where he's like, I'm gonna take into account big streamers. Big streamers mostly do not bot, and then it's smaller streamers. If anything, I'd be scared to be a smaller streamer.
Oh, yeah.